Hello, good evening and welcome back to the Fish Locker out on the shore at night. Absolute silence. We have got a fantastic still night tonight and really big tides. It's unbelievable that I've managed to get conditions like this. It's been a long time since I've been out on the shore at night. We have had quite a bit of prevailing weather in a certain direction. Often what that means is it brings scallops closer to shore. So when you get large spring tides like this, you can sometimes find them along the low tide line. It's rare that I do a night like tonight without getting my legs wet. A bit of a safety briefing. I am wearing a life jacket. I am out by myself on the shore at night. Use your common sense, be safe. That being said, let's go and see what we can find. Got a big piece of sugar kelp there, but what I'm looking at is these little areas of here have all had the sand turned out. Lots and lots of little tiny prawns, but here is a little edible crab. Underneath there, I'm not sure if you can see all these properly, but each one of these is a sea slug. I'll put a proper photo in here. You can't see them now because they're all bunched up, but that and all of these is a sea slug. It's a nudibranch. You can see them all. Same again here, you can see all the sand's been turned out. Let's see what we've got under here. Oh. There is a shore rockling, and here is a dogfish egg. That, I'll take a proper photo and put this in here, but that is called a wental trap. It's like an auger shell. Looking around in here, if I hadn't been here before, you can tell straight away what type of species you've got around. Because you've got cockles, king cockles, razor clams, lots and lots of little tiny auger shells, mussels, all just by looking around. This little hollow here, I'm not sure if you can see it, but that there has probably been dug out by a fish. We're looking for little hollows like that because that's where the scallops are usually hiding. That and that are king cockles or spiny cockles, and they use that big orange tongue to move around. I don't know if you can see all the little fan worms. But there's a little ragworm as well. Shore crab out for a walk. Little hermit crab off for it. Get some speed up when you want to. I don't know if I'll be able to show you there, but there is one of those sea slugs that we saw earlier. That right there is what we're looking for. There, look. See it hidden in a little hollow? These little eyelash worms. And these tube worms here. But this, a little scallop. Now this one's undersized, this one's too small. But that's what you're looking for. That's what we're after, but just probably 3 times bigger. Here's another cheeky hermit crab hiding inside a whelk shell. Where are you off? Well, I'm past the point of no return now. This one here has got a parasitic anemone on its back. Loads of them tonight. Well, I don't know if you can see, but it is raining now. What madman would be out here at this time in the rain, up to his knees in water? A madman finding these. Just big enough. That's an interesting one, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to reach it. There, look. See that? That, to me, is a decorator crab, but I'm not sure if it's a Leach's spider crab. If you saw that in the water, you would just think it was a piece of seaweed, wouldn't you? Yeah. There is a flounder. You see it? Keep watching. There it goes. There's another scallop. See it just there. See it? It's getting deeper. These big bunches here on that chain are whelk eggs. Another little tiny one. Oh, that's a cute one, isn't it? A little cutie. Found him attached to a washing line. This piece of seaweed was what gave him away. I just saw the seaweed kind of bump like that as he flapped. Another one there. Loads of little tiny ones tonight. Might have another there. You see that little stalk of seaweed leading to it. Right. That's a better one. There is another decorator crab, look. Fascinating, aren't they? Just camouflage themselves with a little bit of seaweed. And they'll just pass off, wouldn't they? They'll just pass off as a little piece of seaweed on the seabed. Right, I had to turn the camera off at one point just because the rain was coming down that hard. And I mean, I kind of figured, I'm already wet. I might as well just carry on going, and I'm glad I did, because we have some stunning scallops. I mean, that one there is an absolute monster. I even found one here that has a bullhuss egg on top. There's a scallop inside of there, look. Yeah. So I'm going to keep 2, 4, 6, 8 and let those 4 go. Now they're big enough to keep, but I've got 8 really good ones. I mean, these are just stunners. Yeah. Keep 8, let the rest go. Let's get back to the van. There's a bite. See the float? That is a nice pollock. Well, there's the hook hold. I didn't dare lift it on the trace, but there is a cracking pollock. What a beauty. Now, I went out foraging last night. Oh, easy tiger, easy. Went out foraging last night and I had some cracking scallops. And I'm going to take him round to Jim's and we're going to have pollock and scallops. That is a fantastic fish, isn't it? And we've made it round to Jim's. I brought the scallops from the foraging session. We have some incredible scallops in there. And what have we got in here, James?
The fish!
Yeah, and there's the pollock as well. James is going to be doing some colouring. He's going to be drawing up the menu. And I'll just pass you straight over to Jim.
Hello and welcome to Spargo's
kitchen. As John has just said, we're going to have pollock and glazed scallops today. The pollock, I shall take the skin off, portion it up, and we're going to bake it with some vegetables. I've got some red onion, mixed peppers, some garlic, and a little bit of thyme there. To go with it, we're going to have some savoury layered potatoes, which I want to get into the oven first. So I sweated down some onion, and then added a little bit of a vegetable stock pot. Just layering them up in the dish, and we'll season as we go.
What type of potatoes?
These were just a bag of supermarket anythings. They were not in the best quality, so they were reduced, which is why I'm doing this particular dish with them. Little bit. The last of the.
That does smell delicious already.
The onions have had a good sweat down. That's in a little butter and vegetable oil. Bit of seasoning. And what we'll do is we'll just lay those
like fish scales
over the top, so it looks a little neater. Could have done with a couple more, but hey ho. So I'll just season those, and I'm going to add a little more water from the kettle. I've just run a little water from the kettle into the dish, so it's just half. The dish is half full, and a bit of butter on the top. Just lay a butter paper over, and we'll put those in the oven. They'll need.
Do you cover it over so it doesn't catch?
Yes, it just lets it steam slightly. Potatoes are in the oven. I put the dish of potatoes in the middle of the oven, and this hot tray with some vegetable oil and a little olive oil will go on the shelf above. So this tray will act as a lid covering the potatoes. Just nice and chunky. Not too hot, but you may want to use a spoon.
I was just looking at your fingers and I was thinking that's hot oil.
Right, it didn't bother me particularly. Again, a little salt, and we'll have some bit of pepper over, and we'll start that in the oven for 10 or 12 minutes, and then we'll add some garlic and thyme to that. So we'll put that over the potatoes.
Yeah, I get you. Jim is just skinning off the pollock fillets.
And there we go. Well, nice.
It was a nice sized pollock.
Yeah, it's fabulous. I've just trimmed this out.
You can see all I did was I filleted it off, V-boned it, but it's still got the skin on the other side. So just checking for more pin bones.
Yeah. Pin bones. We'll cut this into portion sizes. I'll bring my dish over. I went for my filleting knife and I've picked up my boning knife.
I generally just have one knife for everything.
Yes, but you
if it was me, I'd be using my Leatherman.
Yes. So I'll pop that in a little bit for the cats there. A bit more giving the blade. So we're just going to start from the tail end.
Notice she's keeping the knife steady and then scissoring the skin.
There we go. Oh, perfectly clean. knife off.
Just flip that over a second so you can see that's the back side what the skin's come off. You can see that there's not a scratch.
Yeah, so I just fold the thin end over.
Are you singing over there, James?
That's lovely. And we'll get there. Lovely.
Right, you'll see some of these scallops in here. This one's got a little bit of seaweed still attached. Now I'm going to pass the camera over to Jim and I'll try and shoot these off for you. By looking at it there, you've got the mussel, the roe, and all this is the frill. Hopefully, if I can just grab it behind there, it should all come off in a one.
Yeah, well done.
Like that. And then just take a spoon and just scoop this out.
That's right, so bowl of the shell into your
Yeah.
palm and then the tip of the knife in just by
Just
the hinge.
the circular part will be here inside the shell. So you're just severing it, you're trying to go in on the inside of the flat.
The fishmonger, of course, would be more than happy to do this for you, or buy them at the supermarket in the fresh fish counter already done, or you can buy them in bags frozen, can't you?
Yeah.
Just make sure that.
Yeah, so all you're doing is, as that's on top of there, you're running the knife on the inside of that to skim it off. There you go. This is a quick point that I'll make. Is the roe that I've taken out with that one there, you can see it's really vivid. That's worth keeping. Whereas if you look at this one here, it's almost completely transparent. So that's spent. This is the reproductive organs. So that one's in good quality and that one there isn't worth keeping. If you're going to make a fish stock, you could use the roes, the frills, all that into a stock when they're like that.
The onion and peppers have had 20 minutes and are nicely softened. So I've got some roughly chopped garlic. Oh, thank you, John. And a little bit of fresh thyme picked out, and cherry tomatoes. So, I'll use my fingers. You use a spoon.
Just looking at it, I'm thinking, sure I can hear your fingers sizzling.
They are
Practically asbestos.
asbestos tendencies. Right, put that back for another 10, and then we'll add a splash of white wine and our fish, and then hopefully the fish and the potatoes will finish cooking together. But back in, the spuds are going along. I just lifted the butter paper off, and the tops of those hopefully will brown and crisp.
We're having a little bit of a lads' day today. James is busy drawing hybrid dinosaurs, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yep. And this was part Triceratops. What was it?
Mosasaurus, Spinosaurus, Stegosaurus.
Right. Right, I've lifted the tray out of the oven. Just having a sprinkle of good old McQuiggins. Now, let's settle these fish.
You have split half of it. You put half of it in the freezer. And you
I have.
saved it for
I've just
later.
taken this out. There's 4. John, Carol, Hannah, me, and James is going to try a little bit of the pollock.
Yep.
And using a little bit of white pepper. and a dot of butter. We'll give this 10 minutes and then we'll sprinkle the herby breadcrumbs over and return it to the oven. Sorry.
Pepper got you.
Yes, I breathed in at the wrong moment. And it's so much plot. Right, that fish is practically there. So
It's only had a few minutes as well, isn't it?
it's 5 minutes I put it on the timer. But if you don't want to cook it all the way, I'll put the breadcrumbs on. But before I put the fish back in, I just want to see how these potatoes are going. Oh yes, they're
Just testing by how hard they are.
they're nice and soft, so we'll turn the oven on and hopefully we'll get a bit of toasting. There's some green beans I put in a few minutes ago. I've got this dish, I just put a knob of butter in there and melted it in the oven and turned the scallops in the melted butter. Griddle pan is on a low light to get it nice and hot. This small frying pan is on a low light, and I'm going to saute some beetroot in olive oil and then finish it with a splash of balsamic vinegar. These beetroot are from the supermarket. They're cooked beetroot sold in a vac pack, but they make a really good vegetable. If I were using my own homegrown, I would trim the tops and the roots, wrap them in a foil and bake them for about 40-45 minutes. You could eat it like a jacket potato actually, with a knob of butter inside.
I was just thinking that's just how I do my jackets.
Right, so these are a packet of soft white rolls from the supermarket. So I've done up a load and there's chopped parsley, a little bit of rosemary and some thyme in there. So I'll use what I need for today, and then the rest will be in the freezer. Put that back in the oven at the top and let those toast. So I just roughly chop the beetroot down. That's in olive oil. I put a little ground pepper and a tiniest bit of sea salt on there.
I don't know if the camera's going to be able to pick that up right. The colour of those is just incredible.
Oh, it is. I love beetroot. It makes a superb vegetable. Balsamic vinegar. Just a little splash over. And here's the scallops in the butter, in melted butter. We do this to stop any splatter. These cook incredibly quickly. 2 minutes. Just pop. Lovely. Absolutely perfect. We'll just leave that to rest for a minute.
The smell that's coming off there is just incredible. And
Lift out the potatoes out. All come together. A little more colour would have been spectacular.
you'll be careful, you don't touch that now, James, okay?
Just plating you up, John.
So we've got pollock with herby breadcrumbs on a bed of, that was peppers, red onions, cherry tomatoes. Got sautéed beetroot with balsamic vinegar, green beans, pan-seared scallops, and there is, what was the name for these?
Well, it all depends if you're paying a la carte prices. They would be pomme boulangère, otherwise savoury layered potatoes. I'll do your potatoes in a bit, Carol, because they'll be boiling from the oven. Can you dive in? Don't wait. Yeah, there you go.
And James is eating pollock and chips.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Good lad.
I really like the pollock meat.
You really like the pollock meat?
Yeah, I like the inside of it.
Good lad. We were just saying there, this pollock, if you can see it, is just perfect white fish. You wouldn't know if someone was given that. If someone was given that and they didn't know it was pollock, they wouldn't know it wasn't cod. You just say it's absolutely delicious, and the scallops as well. Lovely and sweet. Sure you don't fancy a scallop? Okay. And there's Hannah's takeaway. So a takeaway from Spargo's kitchen. Right, well, I even had a little bit of what? I even had a little bit of seconds of that. That was absolutely delicious. The potatoes still piping hot. I burnt my mouth a couple of times because I couldn't stop and couldn't wait. James has enjoyed his pollock, but he's a little bit full now. And there is Hannah's for later.
That was delicious.
Thank you very much, Jim. That was absolutely wonderful. I hope you enjoyed joining us out on the shore, out on the boat, and especially out in the kitchen. Thank you again.
Delighted, and look forward to going squidding with you when the weather eases. It is atrocious at the moment.
What are you doing there? Are you just like a spinning top?
Yeah.
All the very best. What do we say?
Bye from the fish hooker.
And
you later.
bye from Spargo's kitchen. Say bye bye, Carol. Bye bye.
Bye.